Hello, everybody, and welcome to a wild and brave June. We are beginning something we like to call a summer of joy here at Wild and Brave. And aside from all the obvious reasons, we're pursuing joy because it's the key to transforming our experience of stress and adding value to our lives. We've noticed with anxiety, depression, chronic loneliness, and other difficulties torturing more and more of us humans than ever, we really want to make some space this summer to reconnect to joy. So as you join us here for today's Facebook Live, I want to say thank you. Thank you for getting on with us on Facebook or catching this replay on our blog. If you are new to Wild and Brave, we want to welcome you. You'll notice that we try to be connected in the comments whenever we're having a live. So say hello to me as you hop on. Knowing that today's free training and coaching time is going to be about joy and about becoming more present. If there is somebody who you know could really use, would really be able to engage and get a lot of value out of today's broadcast, I want to encourage you to share this. Share this broadcast with whoever you want to be watching this with you. Now, when we start talking about joy, we recognize that there are a lot of important factors woven into joy. Joy isn't just a fleeting experience. It is a grounded and meaningful kind of engagement in a life worth living. It's something we want really for ourselves. We want it for our families. We want it for our loved ones. When you think about creating joy, it is something that never just affects you. It always reaches out and expands us to connect us to other people. Anytime we try to address a problem in the world or in our workplace or at home, we realize that miserable people tend to perpetuate misery. And the pain and the suffering of people who are separated from joy creates this black cloud that seems to just expand and add toxicity that affects us all. So let's create joy this summer for ourselves, and we can even start to turn some of the tide of suffering in this world. So who would like to have more joy in your summer? Since we started like this with all the warm and fuzzies, you might think that we're going to just get out our pom-poms and feel all the feelings and rally ourselves toward having a happier universe. But if you have spent any time with us here at Wild and Brave, you know that we are built on a scientific, actionable kind of practice that anyone can use to implement these things, even if they sound a little warm and fuzzy, and use them in a real way. So we have decided to focus on three major elements of joy this summer that we can break down into a weekly practice that expands our joy. For June, we're focusing on presence. And if you stick with us for July and August, you'll also acquire some helpful techniques for increasing your resilience, that's in July, and your positive connectedness, which is for August. But being as it is today, let's zoom in on being present. Now, we start with being present because presence is a prerequisite for experiencing joy. It's like the difference between eating dinner with a friend and enjoying dinner with a friend. If you're distracted by work, if you're worrying about a decision you're going to have to make, if you're irritated about or worried or frustrated with a disagreement you're having with your partner, you might miss some of the humor, soaking up the companionship, and really enjoying the connection that is available in the current moment with your friend. You might consume calories, but did you savor the flavor? You got an update on your friend's work project, but did you become fascinated with their new idea? Did you hear what they didn't say and invite them to open up to you? If you're fully present in any moment, whether it's dinner with a friend or the busy work at work, you can actually metabolize more nourishment from that experience and become filled up with energy that we desperately need for life. Now, every moment of life happens, whether awake to it or alive to it, engaged in it, all depends on whether we're actually in this moment while it's happening. Like Dave Gambrell is with us in this moment while it is happening. Nice to see you, Dave. And we think about being focused on the moment, the two major things that tend to take us out of it are being distracted by the past or preoccupied with the future. Even mundane, boring little everyday tasks can contribute to our ability to experience joy and have meaning if we're fully present for those moments. All right, so one universal example is the practice of being fully present while washing dishes. Who had to wash a dish this week already? Even if you're on vacation, a lot of times you have to still wash the dishes. Dave and I have had some very fully present time. I did love getting to kidnap you for drinks. With a thinking partner, sometimes you have certain friendships that the nature of the friendship itself encourages you to be more present. The way the person shows up challenges you to be there, because you know if you're actually with them in that moment, you're going to experience something special. You're going to have a new idea. You're going to maybe be challenged or be entertained or even just be calm. Who out there knows someone who is incredibly calming to be around? I have a few friends like this. My friend Jen Schiller is a very calming person. It seems like as soon as you start talking to her, you can just take it down a couple of notches, right? Being fully present with another person allows you to really kind of get the best vibes off of them. And when it comes to boring things, not nearly as fun as grabbing drinks and having big ideas with Dave, as you do something like washing dishes and you allow yourself to be fully engaged, where you clean one dish at a time, you notice that you are slowly transforming your kitchen from maybe a disaster area into a beautiful, tidy area. As you do this, if you give yourself space to do a good job, you don't rush yourself saying, oh, I got a million other things to do. Leave some food on one of the pans that you end up feeling bad about having to clean again later. If you let yourself be there, you actually also receive a mental vacation from worrying about anything else while you're doing it. A chore like washing dishes can add a lot to your life if you let it become that kind of mental vacation. If you've ever experienced that, the enjoyment of just being absorbed in the task that you're doing, you can share that in the comments. One of my friends loves mowing the lawn because it's so loud. He doesn't really have to notice anybody else or deal with what anyone else is doing. He can just enjoy doing the crosscut on the lawn. It's like a vacation from all the things he has to cognitively process. He can just take a break and focus. Today, our theme of adding meaning to the mundane is because if you connect to the meaning in the thing you're being present with, you will more than double the value and the joy of the activity. So washing the dish so you have dishes to eat on tonight is one layer of meaning, where you say, hey, if these are all dirty when we get ready to eat tonight and everyone's so hungry after we've had our afternoon at the beach, or everybody's been working and we come home late and tired. The meaning is to say, oh, we can just kick back and relax. Sometimes the meaning is more personal as well. You can take pride and joy in having a tidy space. Some of us find that very nourishing and calming to say, you know what? My kitchen looks the way that I want it to look right now. It might also be the meaning in the dishwashing of lifting the burden of your partner, who now, when your partner comes and sees that the dishes are done, they can have guilt-free relaxation because neither of you are trapped in the kitchen under a pile of dishes, right? So mundane. Oh, hey, Farron. No, you have plenty of dishes with all the boys in your house. Even in the summer, the dishes never stop. So with these mundane tasks, another great example that is in most of our lives is laundry. If you're a wild and brave parent like Farron is, you can let me know in the comments. You can give me the face palm if you end up under piles of laundry. You may have a laundry bit emoji that's your favorite. But when you do this, a lot of times, who out there multitasks their laundry by trying to squeeze it in different spaces during the busy day? It's a technique I have used at times. Get it started, work on this project. Transfer to the dryer, work on that project. Start another load, you get the idea. However, I remember from my childhood, all through my early childhood, my mom had a practice of doing laundry in a mindful and meaningful way. I remember learning about it as a teenager, because as a kid, I didn't really have the grasp of what was exactly was happening. But as a teenager, she confided in me that she missed doing my laundry when I did it, because she always used to just pray for each of her children as she did each child's laundry. Each piece of laundry she folded. She would fold my brother's soccer jersey and pray that he'd be safe and healthy as he trained on his team. I had silly stripy socks. She'd fold my socks and she'd pray that my pathway would be smooth and take me where God had delight and joy waiting. It still touches my heart to think about and remember the smile on my mom's face when she was doing laundry. She didn't just wedge it in between all the million other things she did as a mom when I was growing up. She would actually do laundry for a period of time. She'd come out with this big smile, and I realize now that because she was so fully present in the laundry doing, because she was awake to the meaning of caring for her children. She wasn't the poor washerwoman with 95 shirts to fold. She was our champion. She was our biggest fan. She was the one who refused one pair of socks, one set of blue jeans at a time, to let us fall through the cracks. She was there for us. The meaning in laundry. Who has ever had a transformational laundry experience like that? If you're doing laundry anyway, wouldn't it be nice to have the boost and the love of enjoying something like that? You know, Farron, you have so much laundry to do in that house. I would argue that you deserve to let it be a nourishing experience to yourself. In a way that you can actually get some of your energy back, you can connect to your meaning and feel great about one of the tasks that consumes a lot of time for all of us, especially an awesome mom like Farron. Hey, Cheryl, glad you're with us. Glad you could even make it live. You're a friend I always love having around. And hey, Heidi, glad you could make it live too today. When we talk about mundane activities, I actually love to start here. It can seem easier to find the meaning in big activities, those important tasks. But with mundane activities, if we fail to protect them from the mindlessness, they're the most vulnerable things in our lives to something I call worry tasking. This is where we multitask by worrying over other projects, other decisions we need to make, or things that are going on in our lives, things waiting to be done, things we aren't actually working on right now. We worry about them while we execute the mundane task. Who's noticed that this happens to them too? Not just me, I know. When we do repetitive or simple tasks, our mental space can be very vulnerable to letting worry in. You might be mowing the lawn, but your mind is on a conflict at work maybe. Or while you're fixing dinner, you're really rehashing the pros and cons of a decision you don't really feel prepared to make. So you feel stress, you feel worry, you feel the concern of something, making the wrong choice, chopping those vegetables. You're not enjoying the task in front of you because you're worry tasking. Who has done that? I'm not sure if I stole that word from someone or if I made it up, but worry tasking is a huge source of stress for us a lot of the time. Oh, I love that, Cheryl. I'm so glad. Laundry really can be a ministry. And what you're doing when you see that, Cheryl, is you are putting genuine meaning back into a mundane activity. And you're architecting a life where you don't have to starve for meaning. We're not making up meaning in these situations. We're simply uncovering the meaning that is already there. So Farron, this is a really good point you have just made. You are among friends here. Farron says, I'm not much of a worrier, but I let myself think about all the things that upset me. So when you're doing other tasks, you might angry task instead of worry tasking, where you multitask and you're fold laundry and you're just mad. And you get madder the more you fold, because you're rehearsing in your mind the thing that was done that was wrong, or the mistake you're going to have to clean up someone else made, or whatever it might be. Something that has upset you. I have done this myself, where the thing that is bothering me, I'll go do something so I can give my mind to the thing I'm angry about, and just get more and more irritable. Sometimes the right word too is frustration. And we end up amplifying the level of frustration in our life because we'll take a mundane task and we will just let it be the excuse to stew in our frustration, and it spirals. Right. So great point there, Farron. Sometimes it's not worry. Sometimes it's other things, other unproductive thinking patterns. Now, good news is these mundane tasks really are the key to totally turning the tide on our presentness in general, because the big meaningful things can be emotional. Going for mundane things first can really change the tone of our presentness and begin to protect our joy. So we have a Wild and Brave challenge this week. This week, the challenge is to choose a mundane task in your life and actively uncover, acknowledge, and embrace the meaning of it. While you're doing it, we want you to pay attention to the meaning and to allow your mind the freedom from worry tasking or angry tasking or frustration tasking, and enjoy the focus on just doing the task. So since that's the challenge today, I would love for everyone who's live with us and for all of our friends watching the replay, share in the comments what is either maybe your least favorite task or your most frequent mundane task. What are the activities that you do all the time that are frequent in your life? For me, probably the most frequent mundane activity is doing the dishes. It's one of the things I probably do the most frequently of mundane tasks. For me, probably my mundane task that's most susceptible to worry tasking is tidying my room. I have noticed that if I am not aware and I don't bring myself into the present, I don't connect to the meaning. As I pick up the things that I've dropped around my room, or I find a piece of mail that fell down behind the chair, I'm presented with this excellent opportunity to worry about the piece of information or whatever's going on. I see a shirt I wore when I saw someone that I am in conflict with. As I put that shirt away, I'm not thinking about how comfortable a shirt is. I'm not thinking about how good it still smells even after I wore it, because I love having clean smelling laundry. All of those things would bring me joy. Even thinking about where I got the shirt. Maybe it's one of the shirts I picked up at a national park, one of my favorite places to be in the world. But if I am obsessing about or worrying over the conflict with the person I saw on the day I wore it, which may have been the reason I dropped it instead of putting it away, I was in a bad place. I was frustrated. So I just toss it on the floor, right? I wasn't present in that moment. And now here I'm in this moment needing to pick it up. Instead of going that direction, if I bring myself into the moment and I enjoy that shirt for what it is, I can actually get to a positive place. All right. Instead, we're going to embrace the joy. Okay, so those are mine. Most frequent dishes, most vulnerable to worry tasking is tidying my room. What are your guys' mundane tasks? What are some of the things you do? Who out there mows their own lawn? We don't. We don't mow our lawn, so it's not on my list. Cheryl says cleaning. She says whether it's the shop or the house. For entrepreneurs out there like Cheryl, Cheryl has a business and her normal life, and so there seems like there's always cleaning to do, right, Cheryl? That's awesome. So when you're cleaning the shop, Cheryl, what are some of the elements of meaning for you in the shop? What do you love about it? And you can think this in your head. Oh, Cheryl just mowed. That's awesome. Yeah, so you got a lot of places in your life, Cheryl, where you could be present and find more joy. I think you've honestly already been putting some work into this, so you got a leg up on this. But when you clean the shop, Cheryl, if you want to give us an example in the comments and say, what's one of the most meaningful things about your business to you? Sometimes it can be situation specific. It's great when it's like that. You might look over at one of the commissions that you just finished and you think about the client. You think how much they are just so going to enjoy getting that home, because it was a treasured item that you had to refix it. You saved it. You magicked it back to life where they can use and embrace and have it in their home again, right? You might, as you're tidying, picking up, whatever loose threads or whatever is in the shop that's left over from finishing that job. You're going to think of the meaning of that commission to the client you care about. That's a way of being fully present in the moment of cleaning, right? And you do cool work. I would guarantee that every single person watching this, it matters, the boring pieces of your life, because they're part of what allow you to show up for people. They're part of what allows you to accomplish things in your life. So let's see. Cheryl says the most meaning is from creating something beautiful. Oh, and my sewing machines, I love those. Great examples. So Cheryl gave us two examples. One, she loves the process and the creation of something beautiful. That's something everyone watching can borrow in some way in their life. What is it you're creating with your work? What is it you're creating in your relationships that you find beautiful? See that. If you're a parent, a mom or a dad or a grandparent who is investing in tiny ones or teenage ones, you might see the beautiful thing you're creating together is giving that child or teenager a safe relationship. When you're cleaning up after, say you had the family over and the kids kind of trashed everything, you can pick up and feel the meaning of being a safe relationship for that child or those children. Someone who's creating a constant place in their life so you can be there for them in a meaningful way. You see how that's different than, oh, they have no respect. You really should clean this up before they went. Maybe I need to not have them over so much. Well, if the meaning is being an active part of their lives, you can get the energy to keep up with whatever gets thrown at you if you really plug into that meaning. So great example. And when Cheryl pointed at her sewing machines, it's a really good example there too, because you have formed memories and you have deep value in a physical object. And it's really good to put the meaning back into our physical objects. They can be great sources of encouragement and energy and groundedness in this moment. As you say, you're dusting something off. Maybe it's a piano that's been passed down in the family, or it's your I have a favorite knife. Who has a favorite knife in the kitchen? I will chop a berry this big and a head of cabbage this large with the same knife because it's my knife. I love that knife. I picked up that knife when I was in Key West, traveling with a couple of awesome friends, my friend Mary Hyatt, and I met for the first time on that trip. And I needed to be able to chop limes to put on the key lime pie. And I picked up this knife. I still use that knife for everything. There's so much meaning in that knife. When I wash that knife, I think about how it's my favorite knife. And I mean, I remember it was an amazing trip. I can get all that meaning out of washing that knife because I'm letting myself let it be about the knife for a second, as small as that is. Does that make sense? So Cheryl, I love that you love your sewing machines. Keep doing that and let yourself be specific. Let yourself feel good about them. Even when something goes wrong, maybe the thing you treasure needs a repair, you can still keep it positively in the present and say, you know what? I love that I have used this so much that it needs something from me now. And I'm just going to invest a little more in it because it's valuable. It's been very valuable to me. I'm a little proud I, used it until it fell apart, whatever it is. You get the idea. So great. Farron says, I like to mow because I feel like I accomplished something and it stays done for at least a few days, unlike cleaning the house. Oh, I so feel yet. Which is almost immediately looks bad again. Same thing with laundry. It can sometimes feel like it's never over. So things like mowing can be really great. As you described mowing to us, Farron, you actually expressed some of the meaning. One of the meaningful things about the lawn is that it stays done. You can visually see your accomplishment. That's valuable. That's why if you lean into it and embrace that while you're mowing, you don't feel tempted to cut the corner or not really make it look right, because you're taking pride and joy in it's going to look fabulous when it's done. And even if the kids run across it in 5 minutes, they can't mess it up because it's cut. It's cut perfectly. Love it. Great example. Thank you for participating, everybody. Oh, and hi, Tracy. Glad you could be on with us live today. So one thing I have found, one of the biggest barriers I have found in my decade as a professional coach, is this sneaky sense we have that being fully present is somehow not trying hard enough. Like, my day will be too easy if I'm allowed to just care about one thing at a time. Like, you are required somehow to be worrying at least 12% of your brain. If you're a responsible person, you're going to 12% of your brain is worrying about your kids, 14% is worrying about the bills at the end of the month. We feel like if we're strong and we're determined and we're engaged in life, we somehow have to earn. We have to earn the moment of doing something fun by splitting it up, splitting our focus. I've seen this in myself when I felt like I needed to catch on emails while I was sitting at the beach because, I'm at one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. What am I doing to earn it? So instead of just being fully present, being like, I am on one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and embracing that moment, letting the meaning be there. You multitask, or I would sometimes multitask and be like, yeah, I was at the beach, but I was working a lot of the time. It was for the business. Whoever feels that guilt. Cheryl says she's learning to let that go. And it is so freeing. It is so freeing when you do. The funny thing is, whether it's multitasking while you're relaxing or just being all fractured, splitting your focus among a bunch of things to kind of feel like you're not being lazy. Any way you slice it, you are actually reducing your ability to show up well in the world. You're decreasing your performance. It isn't selfish to be fully present in the moment, because from that place, you have more emotional capacity to be there for other people. You have more intellectual grit to be able to pivot and have new ideas. The present moment is the only place you can do really great work from. Whether you're creating or gutting it out on a project, being fully present is the most disciplined thing you can do. Hey, Danny, glad you could get on live with us. I'll bet you are in this California sunshine right now. As we kind of think of this and we kind of wrap up today, I want to challenge everybody, all of us, let's connect to the meaning in the more mundane activities and really give ourselves permission to be present, fully present in the moment. We will be seeing you here at Wild and Brave for more help being fully present all throughout this week, all throughout June. We're going to be more and more present. If you missed yesterday's live breathing exercise, it's only a couple of minutes long. We broadcasted from the beach yesterday. You can check it out on the Wild and Brave Facebook page. And stay tuned when we tackle, next week, we're going to tackle the worry component of life to free you even more to be present. So thank you for being with us today. We love having you at Wild and Brave. Go pick a mundane activity and uncover and embrace the meaning in it. Thanks for being with us. Bye, everybody.